Marvel Studios is apparently fast-tracking a Sam Jackson, Nick Fury Disney Plus show, which is also apparently Secret Invasion or a lead-up to Secret Invasion. Let's break it down. What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Welcome back to the channel. Smash that like button and let's get right into this report. This came out a couple of days ago. Variety grabbed up this exclusive. I'm going to read a little bit from the article. The title says Samuel L. Jackson to play Nick Fury in new Marvel Disney Plus series, and that is an exclusive. It says that Sam Jackson is set to reprise the role of Nick Fury in a new Marvel series currently in development at Disney Plus, Variety has learned. Now, I want to be clear about this. There are a couple of shows that this could actually be, and as of right now, the trades are being very close to the chest with it, not really revealing too much. And a lot of the insiders that I've read, covering this story have sort of talked about how there are a number of things that it could be, and they don't know for sure what it is. However, Grace Randolph has come out, and she actually came out that day when this report came out and said that, yes, this was indeed going to be the rumored Secret Invasion show that will lead into and tie into the Captain Marvel 2 movie. Now, that in and of itself is a pretty well-established rumor. It is pretty well established that there's going to be some kind of a sword Secret Invasion type show that will lead into Captain Marvel 2, but that is thought to be a separate story. This new Nick Fury, whatever it is, this show is being fast-tracked for development for Disney Plus. It could be a version of Fury Files, its own thing, where he's like literally just talking about the Marvel Universe. It could be a Agents of Sword show. A lot of people had hoped that that was something that was going to happen. Some people believe it could even be a Secret Warrior show, a version of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something like that brought over. I highly doubt all of that. I'm actually with Grace on this one. It just makes the most sense to me that this is the show, because we had been hearing so much buzz about how this Secret Invasion show was being developed. And if you're going to do a show like that, or rather, sorry, an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Secret Invasion show, and if you're going to do a show like that that leads into Captain Marvel 2, would you not want Nick Fury to be a big part of that? I mean, Captain Marvel and Nick Fury's relationship is the entire crux of why she helps the Avengers at all. It is very important to that character, and I think it would be smart for Marvel to put Sam Jackson in Captain Marvel 2. And why not double down on that and have him be in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Secret Invasion show? Okay, so now I'm going to talk specifically about Grace's report indicating that this is the Secret Invasion show. In fact, Grace literally mentions a comic book that is apparently being adapted, or at least partially adapted for the show, called Meet the Skrulls. And apparently the concept in this book is that the Skrulls are already here, like living among us, which is something that is established, right? The Skrull are on Earth. They are established. They have already blended in, and we already know that there are Kree sleeper cells going on Earth as well. And so maybe a newer version of the Kree versus the Skrull war is what we will see taking place in the original Secret Invasion show, and then on to the actual movie for Captain Marvel 2. But I want to take a quick second here, because there was a report, or rather a plot leak, that came out a long time ago that had proposed that instead of using the Skrull for Secret Invasion, Marvel was instead going to use the Brood, and they were going to take the Brood and do a version of the Brood and have them coming in and taking host bodies. And this also ties in to the concept of an A-Force movie, because what was in that plot leak back then was that the Brood were only going to be able to take over male hosts, okay? And so you would see this play out in the Sword show and in the film itself, where the Brood come in and start taking over actual male host, okay? And if that were the case, then obviously the female heroes would not be susceptible to that, and then they would have to band together to fight against the Brood and the male host bodies that the Brood had acquired. And this was thought to be a solution, or sort of a diegetic way to get to an A-Force type of film, which is something that we have heard Brie Larson really wanted in Captain Marvel 2. And to me, this would have been a cool way to make that make sense. Now, this runs counter to the report that Grace has, or at least she doesn't mention any of this in that report. And I think the report that she has is just saying that it'll likely be the Skrull, and that the Skrull are probably going to be being manipulated. Either there'll be evil Skrull that are working with the Kree, or there'll be good Skrull that are being manipulated and enslaved by the Kree. And then maybe that's where we get the Super Skrull and that kind of a concept, which would be kind of cool, right? And let me just say this. When we went back to try to see the original leak of that Brood story, it is deleted. It's gone from the Marvel subreddit. I don't know why it is gone from the subreddit, but maybe that is just BS. Maybe that's fake news. Maybe that was never on the table. And I got to be honest with you, I'd prefer them to really not try to force A-Force in any way and just do a version of Secret Invasion with Skrull. I would much prefer to see that. And if they have to be Skrull that are manipulated by the Kree or whatever, I'm good with that as well. And there's this other element here that Grace brings up in her report, which is really interesting. She's talking about Jessica Drew in Spider-Woman. If you didn't know, Jessica Drew Spider-Woman plays a big role in the Secret Invasion storyline from the comics, right? Well, we more or less know that Olivia Wilde is directing a Jessica Drew Spider-Woman movie, and we also know more or less that Kevin Feige is somewhat involved in the creation of that film. And I know from my own sources that there's been a lot of juggling and moving stuff around in the MCU, especially this year, but even before this year, late last year, they were already making big changes to the MCU, shifting things around. It's like they have these stories, they have these beats and these things, and they're literally like trying to figure out how to best tell that story within the MCU formula. Do we do it in this movie? Do we do it in this show? Do we have this show tied to this movie, etc., etc.? That's one of the things that's going on. And so it is possible that what's happening here is Marvel has now basically solidified on one version of this plan, and they are fast tracking this Nick Fury show to get the Secret Invasion show started and then bring him in for a Captain Marvel 2. And I think we all realize, and this has been widely reported, that Captain Marvel 2 is going to set up the status quo for the new Avengers. It's going to be a very big movie. But that's the official report out there, folks, coming from Variety, a new Nick Fury show. The jury is still out on what that show is exactly, but Grace Randolph believes it is the Secret Invasion show. And I want to clarify here, we don't know if this Nick Fury show is the Secret Invasion or the Sword show, but we do know, or there's at least a lot of evidence to point to, a Sword and a Secret Invasion show happening. So that is likely happening either way. But we don't know if it's this new Nick Fury show or not. Let us know your thoughts about that. Let us know your thoughts about the Brood rumor, and just in general, what do you think's going on with this movie and or show? And now let's shout out Gabriel Wilson. Yes, indeed, Ezra Bridger was born on Empire Day. And now let's ask another nerd card question before we get out of here. I want to know, why was Jessica Drew Spider-Woman so important to the Secret Invasion comic book storyline? If you like this video, make sure you drop a like on it. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, you're definitely going to want to change that. If you're enjoying the content over here, you will absolutely love the live streams we do straight from Nerdvengers Tower Monday through Friday starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.